menace signs?
Yeah.
Election, Nepal.
Thank you.
अत्याधिक बहुमतले विजय गराइदिन हार्दिक अनुरोध गर्दछु तपाईहरुकै उम्मेदवार तपाईहरुकै
breakfast in Kathmandu. It's very good. They said mine was spicy, but it's really not. A little bit of heat to it. Gorgeous day. Alex and I are going to make our way to the airport and see if we can find our flight to Lofla. And we'll check in with you again there.
Well, here we are. We've raced through an airport to catch it's a Terra airline to fly us into Lucca. They really pushed us through, but then now we're waiting for the airline to get in.
That might be it.
That's probably it right there. Little guy with
Not too bad, look.
dots. Yeah, that looks bigger than... Hoping that's ours, but I think he stopped too far away. Anyways, it's an amazing trip so far. Kathmandu, just that word from childhood reminds us of adventure, of exploration. Yeah, we're on it now. We'll talk to you again from Lofla. They finished loading our plane with rice and hot water. I'm not sure if it's a resupply plane or what. We're the only ones standing waiting for it to go. So it looks interesting. It's going to be a very sightseeing flight, I'm presuming. We'll see you when we get to the ground there in Lofla. Getting ready to take off from Kathmandu International in a little time. I don't know what the plane
Gotta be louder than that.
No, I don't know what the plane is. It's full of cargo, rice. What else you have to see?
I'll have it on video at least.
Yeah, just keep it running.
about that? Pops.
They use every inch of that runway. It's the shortest runway in the world, and you're looking at it. An amazing sight. We're going into Loop Light. New train. We're having our evening meal, and it's beautiful. It's yak steak, potatoes, and a vegetable. Looking forward to it. Oh, we're about 50 minutes into the beginning of our trek. This happens to be a downhill stretch. We left our tea spot. What do they call it? Tea
Tea house.
about an hour ago. We had a really nice breakfast. It was some type of a, what do they call it? It's a
Tibetan bread.
Tibetan bread. They make it fresh and serve it with jam. I've got a hunk of it in here. Oops, here comes a yak train.
Not good with heights. Not good with.
The mountains up and beyond there. Wow. Lordy.
The old man lost his bag down a crevice. Look, everyone's laughing at you.
Good thing I can say is it wasn't attached to me. Oh, here we are at, I'm not sure the name of this town.
Fuck ding dong.
Fatting Dong, something like that. It was about a 3-hour walk, climb, uphill and downhill from Loklai. It's gorgeous. We're having kind of an afternoon break here with tea, black tea they call this. A little see-through for black. And it's just, we sit here in amazement. I mean, as you look out, there's just rugged peaks and just gorgeous. The Sherpa people are just fantastic. Everyone smiles and waves. I mean, it's quite the culture. We're really enjoying this. Thank you.
What's going to happen here?
Well, from here on, we've decided to go on uphill. From Lukla, we dropped at least 1,000 feet in elevation to the last town where we had our tea. We really want to make it back up to at least that 28,000 meters, so that we haven't lost ground. So we'll be able to get to the name of that next one is Mancha.
Yeah,
Mancha Bazaar or something.
No.
But that's way up at 34,000 meters. So we're gonna keep plugging. Take a look at this view though.
Wanted to get video of you
Puffing.
barely making it up here. Hey, that's a lot faster than you've typically been walking.
You gotta watch your feet all the time. You'll be face down in yak poop. Alex and I are now acclimatization at the bazaar, Naza Mazar.
Namche Bazaar.
Namche Bazaar. We're above it now. This is the little town. We need to painfully hike up hill today, get some altitude, and then get back down and sleep down here. There you go. That's our first view of Everest itself. It's the mountain that where the clouds come to and are blowing over the top of. It's where the clouds are starting. That's Everest.
On the left.
And it's absolutely gorgeous. We've come quite a ways up. We'll be backtracking to go on down to sleep, but we're acclimating, so we're going to move a little farther up the trail towards Everest. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous sight. One in a lifetime for me. Well, here's our second view of the top of the world. This is as high as Alex and I are going to go today. As soon as we finish this taping, we're going to head back down to where we're going to spend the night, about probably 700 feet lower than we are. But there again is Everest. It's the one in the beginning of the cloud formations. Amazing. We were told that there's a summit going on, a summit attempt going on right over here. I don't remember the name of that mountain, but plenty high. This is our breakfast now that we're final day in the bazaar. We're now heading up. So Alex is having a 2 potato pancakes. It's a sherbet dish with hot and sour cream. And I'm having their version of hash browns. It's really kind of a mashed potato patty. They brought us a hot sauce that'll blow your socks off. Makes the tea to the point you can't even drink it. It's so hot. Very good though. We'll be paying up and heading north. Alex and I have been climbing for the last hour, and we're at a beautiful again spot. There is in the background. You'll see Everest is the one where the clouds. Everest is the one where the cloud starts. And now we're heading on to a village up in the hills.
Down first.
Actually, it's down now and then up, which is painful to go down.
First that one, and then up there.
The view is amazing.
Not a whole lot of room on this trail. A couple of yaks come by and you can get pushed right off. Well, we made it to Funky Tanga, which is well below where Namche Bazaar was. And so now we get to go up the mountain back to the level that Namche Bazaar was, plus 1,000 feet in altitude. There's some yaks coming. Beautiful spot though.
Well, Alex is going to point to where we had to cross today. We were as high up on that other side as we are now on this side after going all the way down to that river. It's the most mentally challenging piece when you are coming downhill, knowing that you're going to have to climb all those feet back up. But we're continuing our quest. We're going to make it. I think. Oh, by the way, I damn near got trampled by a yak. Alex just missed photographing it. He's got the yak herd, and then one split off and then came down above me. Luckily, I had yak 2 in my hand, and I was able to keep him from sitting in my lap. We'll show you that, or at least the pre to that. See you on the other side of this. I think she's right. Bring it. Hello.
Good.
Hello.
Something good.
Have a safe trip down.
Down going to Lukla.
Lukla.
Mm.
All the way to Lukla.
Up going to
Everest Basecamp.
good.
Careful on your way down.
Okay.
All right, have a good one.
Be safe.
Going to
Careful with the yak shit.
Changsa.
Thanks, I. Bye bye.
Okay. Hi, hi.
Hi, hi. This is our lodgings. About the same as the others, only smaller yet.
Dirtier.
And not as clean, but we're higher and higher. We were 1,000, at least 1,000, maybe it's 1,200 feet higher than we were last night.
Yeah, at least.
It was brutal because we went down 1,000 and then had to come back up 2,000. And when we got to this little outpost, first thing I think we tried to do is get a lodging in what I thought was a hotel, but it turned out to be a monk's monastery. But we found a place, and now it's, I don't know, it must be around 4, 5, and we're done. Alex is gonna read a little bit. We've treated our water. We've hung our socks out. And we'll see what tomorrow brings now. Good night. It's been about an hour and a half since we started today climbing. And it's been up and down, and we've got to a bridge, although it's gone. Not one of the better signs, but I'm sure we'll be able to cross at some other point.
Say that now. Wait until you get to the village up there. Want to say anything to the fans?
I think the ownership of little yacht is like having really expensive cars where we're from. You recording?
Yep.
This is one of the few spots we've seen where They actually have eked out a little farming community. You have to take your hat off to these people.
This is the village of Pingboch. Something like that.
And here's Al looking for trinkets to put on his Yak 1 walking stick. The villagers washing their clothes up the stream. Beautiful stream. We're getting water. Here we are, 2 more hours of climbing, and we're above tree line. Oxygen is and who knows how far back this happened, but here's one of the majestic peaks in the Himalayas that sheared off and crashing down all the way to the river below, crushing everything in its path. Every boulder, chewed every other boulder up into dust. Amazing sight.
Well, Alex and I crawled out of bed, came into the tea room, and nothing but the family. The husband, wife, their 2 children, and the husband's brother sitting around this fire of yak dung. Everyone else is gone. They were headed downhill, or down mountain. Very cold night. Our water froze. Yeah, very, very cold night. But the sun comes up and it heats up very quickly. It's pretty interesting that way. We're going to head up again, do some climbing today and see what we come across. If we come across a lodge or a tea house, maybe we'll stay there and try to acclimate there versus turning around and coming back here. So we're just going to see how it goes today. See you a little later.
We got an evac.
Someone died. Not good.
You've heard tale of an old fuck up there.
Yeah, white hair. Q-tip, they call him.
Well, since we last chatted, we've been climbing for about 2 hours. In hopes of finding another area that we could just acclimate and not push it all the way 2,000 feet up. That's too far. We shouldn't, go that far. So that's kind of where we're at. Pretty rugged, but so beautiful. Hopefully see it a little bit.
Well, we took off today at about was supposed to be kind of a acclimation day. We were supposed to just climb high and then head back to that village and sleep at that altitude again. But we got kind of bored and we decided to start walking to see what we could find. The map showed some possibilities for villages. It's hard to find anything. The sun's going down. We're gonna have to make a decision, either keep going forward looking or turn back. It was about 2.5 hours to get here, but at least on the way back it'll be somewhat downhill. There's a village right over there. I think you can see it somewhere. Anyways, I'm not sure if there's any lodging, but it's something we can check out. Over there, I think that's a frozen lake. I got up on top of this plateau to get a better view. Dad stayed below on the trail. I'm not sure where he is. That's it. All right, we'll check in a bit. Bye.
Well, long day, I'll tell you right now. We took off to acclimate, and I think we took a wrong turn somewhere. Still going up, but we ended up on the wrong side of a deep, deep gully. So we had to backtrack and come down and then cross it at a point and then back up and then again up. So here we are. Here's our tea lodgings for the night. We've decided that with no sleeping bags, another thing we'll talk about, we're going to conserve heat, and we sleep with our socks, sleep with our water, everything to try to keep from freezing. Last night our water froze, our socks froze. But it's all part of the adventure. We'll, if we don't freeze to death in our sleep, we'll update this in the morning. Good night. Alex and I have been climbing about hour, maybe hour and a half, and we've come to this. It's a site of memorial. All of these structures, as you see all the way around, are in memorial for climbers of Everest that perished either going up or trying to come down. Bit of a solemn thought.
What a day so far. We've been at it about 5 hours, I think, since about 8 a.m. Right now I'm trying to climb this little mountain, I guess. It's pretty hard with the altitude and the lack of oxygen up here. Snail pace. Go up about, I don't know, 40 feet and then have to take a break. Dad's still sitting at the bottom of the hill here. It's beautiful though. I'd say we're about an hour and a half from our next sleeping village, Goya Czech or something like that. All right, catch you later.
Well, we've been climbing for about 6 hours today. We watched a dog start an avalanche of rock. We're on a glacier actually. It's covered with rock and debris, but it's a glacier. We bit off a lot today. We're trying to do about 1,700 feet. And that's a lot. But our bodies felt good getting up and getting going, so we keep pushing. The sky is an amazing sight. It's almost a black blue. It's different than anything I've ever seen up here. Quite the sight. We'll check in a little later. Well, after probably the hardest night we've had yet, both of us suffering from some altitude sickness, both had headaches, nausea, and bouts of just not seeming even in your sleep, or not in your sleep, but trying to get to sleep to try to catch your breath. It's really an odd sensation. But we've been hiking now for an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm not sure. And at this point, we're headed towards Basecamp. This is what we do today, hopefully. And then we head back in the direction we've come. But right here between this notch, the mountain you see right between the notch, that's Everest. We'll see you hopefully at Basecamp, another hour away, we think. For any of you thinking that this is a Ice Age trail walk, one misstep and there you go, all the way down to the glacier, right in the face of Everest herself. It's tough. Well, we made it. Everest Base Camp. It was a hard trip. A lot of climbing, much more climbing than I anticipated. The altitude is huge for what we can deal with, but here we are. There'll be so many things to tell you about when we get home. I can't remember the name of this glacier that you see flowing all the way from this whole valley up to Everest itself. We got a chance to touch it and lay our hands on this glacier. It's beautiful. Now it's time to start our trip back. After Everest Basecamp, we've decided to strip off some altitude, get down to an area where we'll hopefully have a better evening, better night's sleep. Last night was very difficult, so we'll see how we do with that, but we're still so awestruck by the grandeur of the Himalayas. Each day, as I've already mentioned, gets more fatiguing, but we have been heading down to lower altitude for the last 4 hours.
2.5.
Anyways, we're looking around and it reminds us of the werewolves of London. Even Alex is wearing a coat that looks like it. There's a cloud that's moved into this valley, so we're trying to find our way home. Well, we're on our way down. We're finding that the descent is as fatiguing as going the other direction up, but you're rewarded with, again, more Himalayas. Just absolutely gorgeous with the clouds moving in. Here we go. Sorry about not being with you for the last couple of days. They were pretty brutal. We hiked coming down from Basecamp. The last 2 days we put in 8 hours a day of climbing. Basically, you would think it would be all downhill, but it isn't. It's downhill, uphill, just depends on where the rivers are and where the villages are. So we were exhausted on both of those occasions. We got into Lukla quite late, secured probably the worst lodgings Alex and I have ever stayed in. But then caught a flight out of Lukla fairly early, and flew into Kathmandu here and decided to pick up a hotel room worthy of us, meaning far times better than we normally stay in, because it has a nice hot shower, and boy did we need it. But we're all cleaned up now, we're raring to go. We're going to step out onto the streets of Kathmandu and see what we can find. Sorry we didn't take you on our walk today. We'll do it tomorrow for you. We moved hotels. Now we're at the Penguin
Boutique.
Boutique. but right in the heart, it's beautiful, of Tamil. It's a part of Nepal that's very tourist driven. Just shop after shop after shop. Alex wandered into some of the weirdest, one weird shop that was almost frightening. You go in there and it was small little rooms, but up and up and up. Every stairway took you up another level and another little room full of the most bizarre, antique-looking oddities. I was glad to get out of there myself, but it's been an experience. Now we're in probably one of the nicest lodgings that we've had. Alex will show you a little bit of this room. Yeah, there's blue neon around the bottom of our beds. According to their what I've read, is this is supposed to help us sleep. I don't need anything to help me sleep, I tell you. I'm still kind of trying to recover. I used up all my energy in the last couple of weeks, so this is really helping. We're enjoying it. We'll take you hopefully to the Monkey Temple tomorrow, and I'll show you some of the outside of this district. Good night.
We're in the cave room of our hotel, the Penguin
Boutique.
Boutique. It's pretty interesting.
It's all decorated like a cave. There's rocks and colorful lights back there.
And breakfasting is included in our rent.
Morning. This is our flight day. We've been scouring the streets and alleys of Kathmandu looking for whatever we could find, and now we're going to finish up. We're having our breakfast that comes with our room. We took a picture of our room last night for you, and then we'll get back here and head to the airport and start that long journey home. We'll see you soon. Well, here we are. We kind of misplaced filming for you folks for about 30 hours. We took off from Kathmandu, flew to China, changed planes, flew to Los Angeles, and at Los Angeles, Alex says, why don't we go down to Long Beach to the BBC? And so, here we are, enjoying Long Beach crude, hot wings at the BBC, Long Beach, California. We'll check in soon. Hey, Lynn, here we are. We're in Naples. We made it. It's Christmas everywhere here. Unbelievable the amount of lights and production they put into their homes. Alex is going to pan this whole area. Can you imagine? Just on our layover from Nepal, we decided to at least catch this. It's just gorgeous. That's it, that's it. Get her quick. Pretty cool, huh, Al?
Yeah.
This is Christmas. Taping?
Yep.
Christmas in Naples. I love it.